Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to today's trade recap from today's Friday. From Friday, what day is today? Is February 13th of 2026. I took a little break after today's trading session because I had a lot to reflect from today, and I just wanted to be able to look at the market in a different way than the one that I had a focus on the morning. And because sometimes every time that you take a trade or you take a loss or a break even or anything, sometimes you feel like this emotional charge going through. It's better, like in my eyes or the way that I look at the market, sometimes it's better just to step away and keep going with your day and then come back to the charts and look at the charts clear headed. So this is the trade that I took, but let's first start with the bias. Okay, first, today I was leaning more bearish for the reason that we had this big ass dump. We invalidated these 4 hours at the left of us, but we were trading inside of this 4 hour. But since we had that big ass dump, I was leaning more bearish. But the thing is that then we have at the 1 hour, we can see that we had all this low resistance liquidity at the left of us, all the way, all these lows and this 4 hour unfulfilled. So what does price needs to do to keep delivering lower? We need to uh, we need to seek liquidity to then rebalance the type of leg to then keep going lower. Okay, so in a way that was my idea. I want to seek liquidity at the left to then take shorts. So my condition was I want to see that 4 hour getting tapped to then go short. Okay, so then first the market open. We can see that we didn't have like too many things over here at the left of us. At the 1 hour we only have this intermediate high and all these like stack highs, my bad. And then we can see a market open. Today was CPI. A market open and 9:30 was over here. This was market open. We have an AMD. We have this accumulation. What we have then, we have a manipulation, seeking out the lows, seeking out these lows over here, and then just distributes higher to the drawn liquidity this 4 hour to then keep going lower. And then we have like a really nice long opportunity at market open, but the reason that I didn't took that because well I was leaning bearish and I was more stuck in this bias, and I'm not gonna lie, today I woke up a little bit late for market open. For market open I usually wake up like an 8 a.m. I end up waking up like I don't know, 8:20. And I don't know, I just saw this like this structure and I saw this inverse right here. I saw this inverse, and but the thing is that I wasn't like that much high convicted in this. I was more focused just like in the trend, and I didn't focus too much on just what price action was doing, and I didn't feel high convicted. And also I was playing chess at this time. So pretty sloppy of today's execution. And then we had like this big ass distribution leg. We sweep out these data highs at CPI at 8:30. We swept that accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and counter trend to seek a rebalance to then keep going lower. Pretty nice trade, but the thing is that well, I didn't like it for the reason that I didn't create like these scenarios that I usually do. That let's say that a market open, I have a bias. Okay, since I have a bias and I want to take a trade, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create these A plus scenarios in my head. So when I see them, I'm gonna act on it to then take the trade. Because the thing is that you need to create. I believe that I'm gonna talk for myself because I don't want to, I'm just sharing my my things. But for me works way better when I have like these A plus scenarios in my head to then execute, because it's easier for me to just act on them and not be like so impulsive at the way that I'm like trading. Okay, So I didn't have like this trade idea in my head. So I was just like I'm just gonna let it go because I'm not feeling like convicted in it. And then we start accumulating, we start generating low resistance liquidity at the lower time frames, and we sweep this intermediate high at the 1 hour, and we tap into that 1 hour imbalance, and we had like accumulation manipulation over here, and we have a nice IVG. I entered there, and I was just aiming for a 1 to 1. I just want to aim for these accumulation zone lows. I was just aiming for this, because like this is high resistance, so I'm more high convicted and we're gonna seek this, and I'm gonna go break even in this internal low as the first one, because I want to see, since this is low resistance liquidity, I want to see just a straight candle going through it. Okay, I really like the displacement on this, but the thing is that I said at first I want to see that 4 hour getting tapped. Why are we gonna leave this 4 hour intact to then keep going down? That doesn't make any sense. Just following rebalances and equilibrium. So I I believe that I took this trade because I like the volatility that we had after taking out this. And the thing is that also is because I forced this trade. I forced it completely. I forced it, and I feel kind of like sad that I forced it, because of the reason that the trades, you only need to see the trades, you don't need to search for the trades. And this trade was more of me just searching for it, because I was feeling to take a trade, because I didn't take a trade yesterday. I only take one trade this week and this one, and I was feeling on it and I forced it. And feels kind of bad that I broke my rules. Well, I didn't broke them, but I did a poor execution, and I didn't follow through like the ideas and the things that I like to do in a day of trading. And I this was like more of pattern trading instead of like a good trade. And a good trade, I believe that it should be a setup and a narrative. I didn't have too much of a narrative here, because I'm like excluding my stop loss. In my stop loss, I have a 4 hour unfulfilled for value gap, and we can see that literally we have a market maker buy model over here. Now we can see that we tap into that 4 hour and then we keep going down. But the thing is that we have literally market maker buy model over here. And yes, this was my execution from today. And very poor execution, not something that I'm proud of. It's not a trade that I would like to take again, because I forced it, and just it's not aligning with narrative, and I excluded my stop loss, and I just pattern trade this. I was able to get safe just for my break even, but the thing is that, well, at the end of the day, if I'm gonna take a trade, it needs to be aligned with narrative, and the setup that I want to take needs to be aligned with those, and needs to have targets, and understanding why my stop loss is there, what my take profit is there, and everything. In this, I was just aiming, okay, we have accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and we have the liquidity sweeps, and that's it. And I'm aiming also for a high resistance liquidity. Like we don't have enough liquidity here to grab. Sometimes when you see like a low or a high that swept another high or low, and you have like this is high resistance liquidity, and it's low probability that we're gonna hit that. So it's not, today was not a good execution on my part, and pure execution day, something that I gotta like follow through and just like keep reinforcing the habits, the good habits of aligning narrative and setups. And well, I'm also just accepting it with love, 100%. I'm accepting it with love, and something that we gotta work through. And yeah, that will be it. I feel happy how I manage after the break even, and how I manage my emotions, and able to realize this type of price action after I executed. I understand why I took the setup and why I act the way that I acted. I just wanted to see this. I was feeling a trade, and well, sometimes you want to fin something so bad that makes you do this type of mistakes, and like in a way destroys like your win rate, because this is not a statistical loss or a statistical break even in my eyes. I believe that this is more emotional break even, like emotional break even, for the reason that it's not aligning with the way that I usually trade the statistics and everything. So yeah, something that I could have done better. Whew, a bunch of things, a bunch of things. Just waited for this 4 hour to get tapped will be the first of it, and second one, just create those A pluses scenarios in my head and understand more drawn liquidity and not get like caught up in this lower time frame like price action, because we don't have, like, while I was taking this trade I was like searching like, okay, do we have a reason to go down there? And I wanted to see at least like a 5 minute unfulfilled, a 50 minute unfulfilled. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything. I still took the trade, knowing that I shouldn't have taken it. And literally, like while I was taking the trade, it was not like these other days that I just take a trade and it's careless. I was more emotional about this trade because I forced it. When you take a trade and you feel emotionless about it, is because you know, and you have this instinct that, okay, I'm taking this trade because of this. I don't care about what's happening because I follow my conviction. But the thing is, I force it, and I just saw setup and force it. But now something that I learned from today is that when we have like this type of price action, and we just dump a bunch of points and we created this liquidity at lower time frames, and we have an unfulfilled 4 hour or 1 hour, I can see the possibility that we can rebalance that to then keep going down. So yeah, that was it for today, and pretty grateful for today. Pure execution, but feeling grateful that I learned, and just keep learning. And you know, I like to preach sometimes that you always need to be a student in the charts, and just always be learning, because nobody knows everything, and just keep that ego in check. So thank you so much, y'all, for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and your day.